tinting and stuff, and
Correct.
they assured me that no, this is a new type of thing and it's never going to happen with that. And just in a year, the entire thing became a mess. It became yellow.
So today we're shooting a bike, and this is coming for the PPF removal. A lot of people think putting PPF on the bike is the best way to protect it. Yes, it is. But putting the wrong PPF is actually worse because it'll harm the bike in the long term. And like this customer had got the bike done from 3M, he honestly thought that the PPF that would be used would be good. But in fact, it's turned out and it's made the entire bike look very, very dull. And the cutting has not been done properly. So because of that, the PPF is opening up and now the bike looks really, really bad. So we're going to be removing the PPF from the entire bike and then after that coating it so that we can restore the shine back into the entire bike and the paint looks nice without all the bubbles and the cuttings in the paint. So very important, whenever you do go to get PPF done, get it from a good brand, get a good brand PPF done on it so that this doesn't happen to your bike and it doesn't start looking older, because this is the opposite effect of why you would get PPF done. So you're not really protecting the bike, you're actually making it look a lot worse. So always ensure you get it done from a good place. He thought 3M would be a good brand to get it done from, but it turned out to be like this. So always make sure it's done good. So we'll take you through the entire process of PPF removal first. You have to remove it properly and with good technique so that the paint doesn't come off with it. Otherwise, if you end up removing the paint while removing the PPF, that is going to be a big loss because we'll have to pretty much repaint the entire panel, get a new sticker set. So we're going to be really careful with how we remove this. Stay tuned to see how we take this bike from here to the final. So now, just to show you how yellow the film has actually become, I'm going to pick this up, the PPF shade which is here, and you can see the difference. If you come in closer, you'll actually be able to see the difference. This is the original paint and this is how yellow and dirty the PPF has become. There's a distinct difference between the original paint and with the PPF, and you can see the difference which is there. This is with the PPF. So now when removing it, it's actually become pristine white. The PPF has to be of really good quality after some time, otherwise this is how it ends up looking. So we're removing everything slowly, all the PPF from all the panels. Now even if you have to see slowly, you can come here. And in other areas also, you can see, you have to come in really close and see this white part is the original paint down, and with the PPF you can make out the difference here as well. Another place I can show you where there's a massive difference. If you see the front mudguard, so on the cutout here, there is no PPF which has been put. So this is completely white because this is the original paint, and this up and down is where the PPF has been applied. So you can see that's become really faded and it's looking like a completely different shade, but this part is the original paint where there's no PPF, so you can make out the difference here clearly. So after the removal stage, the next stage that we're going to be doing is a good paint correction and glue removal, because there's a lot of glue that gets left behind when you're removing the PPF. So first you remove the glue completely and then you move into the next stage, which is the paint correction, in order to salvage the paint, do a good paint sealant, polish it up, and then the last stage is the coating. So like you saw, after the PPF removal stage, there was a lot of gum left over on the bike, which we needed to remove with the help of IPA, which is the isopropyl alcohol, which completely dissolves all the glue which is on the paint, so it safely removes. You have not damaged the paint anywhere on the bike. All the original paint of the bike is intact. That's because you use the proper processes to remove the PPF, which is very important. After that, we did the paint correction like you saw, in order to get off all the swirl marks and scratches from the paint, which had come and had not been corrected before even applying it. So very important, before you apply it, you always need to paint correct it, irrespective of whichever painted part is on the bike. So yeah, let's move to the next stage, which is the paint correction, and after that followed by the coating stage, wherein we apply another layer, because while removing the PPF, it could damage your clear coat. We've tried to minimize as much damage as we could, so we've removed it and we'll be coating it, so that there's another layer of protection which is on top of the paint. So after paint correction is the coating stage, which we'll move into. So anyways guys, we're now finally done with the bike, and the bike looks completely different after removing the PPF. Well, you can hear it from the client when he comes in of how he likes the bike. But earlier, when they had put PPF, you come in closer, you could see there were bubbles here. There was tape across the tank, which is now not visible anymore. There were a couple of bubbles here, and the overall finish of the bike was not like this. The white, as you can see in the starting of the video, this was completely brown. Now it's become complete white and it's actually sparkling. This is where the bike, you could see the PPF wasn't cut properly, like in the footage we showed you in the beginning. Now all of that has been removed, the bike has been coated. Now some bikes, or bikes in general, when PPF is down on it, you need to get it done from someone who knows how to tuck in the PPF properly and where to cut it. Otherwise, after a while, the bike would look how it did at the beginning of the video. Some bikes, it is difficult to put PPF on. PPF is largely for cars because they have straighter surfaces, so it's very easy to apply it and bubbles don't get left. Now with bikes, it's a totally different case. You've got a lot of curves on it, you've got a lot of sharp lines. So even for the PPF to sit and not get bubbles is a task in itself. So you might have to cut it through the tank. A lot of bikes have to be put in two parts where the fuel tank is. Fairings are relatively easy to put, but people still screw that up like you saw in the beginning of this video. So yeah, overall, if you're getting PPF down the bike, get it done from someone good. They might charge a little extra, but that is for the expertise of installing PPF onto the bike. Because if you get it done from a cheap place or from someone who doesn't have the expertise, it's going to end up like this, and then you end up spending double first to put it, then remove it, and then get it coated. So we finally coated the bike. The bike looks pretty good. We're going to show you some after shots of the bike, and you can see the before and after of this. So we're finally done with the bike. I've taken you through pretty much everything that we've done from start to end, shown you the condition of this bike, which had the PPF on it, and well, the bike didn't look like this, right?
Yeah, absolutely not. So
you can hear it from the horse's mouth now.
Yeah. So I got this bike in 2021, and the first thing I did is I went to the 3M guys, because it was a brand new bike, and I'm like, okay, what can you do for me? And they said, you should put a PPF on it.
Yeah.
And I had heard a lot of bad stories about it, like the yellow tinting and stuff. And
Correct.
they assured me that, no, this is a new type of thing and it's never going to happen with that. And just in a year, the entire thing became a mess. It became yellow. The bike did not look anything like the way,
Like the before shots we've taken, they
exactly,
can see that, yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah. So I went to them. They did not give me any resolution. They're like, no, we cannot do anything.
Yeah.
In fact, they went on to say that, you know what, we will sell you a new PPF and we'll give you a 10% off.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, why would I buy anything from you for a 10% off when you have,
After
sold
this,
me a bad product?
Yeah.
And then that's when, I said, okay, you know what, I'm going to try something else. And then I found you guys through Google. I thought, okay, maybe.
Correct.
This
you
is
had met us a while back, and then the bikes come in, I think a month later.
Yeah.
So how did you like what we've turned around this bike to?
I mean, it looks exactly the same, or probably even better than the day I bought it from the showroom.
Yeah. The shine is.
Yeah. So how did you manage to, what did you
wait?
What did we do on this?
So so the main thing to do is when you're removing PPF, and which is not a good PPF, you got to be really careful. Otherwise, you can end up damaging the original paint, which a lot of people don't realize. PPF removal also costs a lot of money. Why? It's cheaper people will do it, but they'll just yank it off or not use the right solution or the heating technique, and the original paint will come out. Now, there's no point in doing that because you put that in the first place to protect the paint.
Exactly.
So people always go for cheap, and later on then it kind of backfires and you kind of end up ruining the finish of the bike, which is why you put it in the first place. So removed it, polished it, coated the entire bike, and well, the result looks great. Speaks for itself.
Amazing.
Yeah. And we hope to keep maintaining this bike like this now.
Yes.
So it keeps looking like this and not like how it came in.
Absolutely.
So would you recommend people to come in?
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely do.
So thank you so much.
Thanks. Great job.
Thank you.